Chapter 8 Guru and You, the Seated and the Seat. Guru Purnima is different from other functions. It is an occasion when the Guru showers blessings on his disciples so that the disciples will have a higher and better understanding of life. One would have visited various temples and would have witnessed many functions and rituals without understanding their meaning. In these functions, a small deity or statue called Utsava Murti is taken out on a procession to bless the people, on the completion of which it is taken back. This exactly represents our life. We belong to the Brahman or God or nature, whatever we may call it. We all have started as Utsava Murti or ceremonial statues from this Brahman. Though we belong to this Brahman, we come out through our mind and senses, just like the Utsava Murti on the streets. Then, where is it that we are going wrong? We are attracted by the marketplaces and spend a lot of time and never want to go back to the temple. Why is it so? If we are blind, all these would not have attracted us. God has given us eyes to see the outside world, but He also expects us to explore ourselves from within and be constantly aware of the fact that the external world is a mere illusion. Unfortunately, even when we close our eyes, we are more interested in seeing the outside world. This is what we are doing in our day to day life. Then comes the theory of attraction and possession. Once the desire to possess everything controls an individual's mind, he is transformed into a devil that directs all his activities to fulfill his own selfish needs. We have to remember that we have to go back to Brahman from where we originated. We cannot act for 24 hours a day, nor can we remain young forever and work hundreds of years. We have to grow old and die. All actions should be performed having this in our mind. Only then will it be possible for us to be detached from these worldly desires. Recently, a journalist asked a teacher of a particular type of yoga as to the message that he wishes to convey through his teachings and what he desired to achieve through this. The reply given by the yoga teacher was shocking. He should have answered that his aim and purpose was to help people understand the high values of life. Instead, he replied that he aspired to attain the status of a famous management leader or a spiritual leader in a wealthy country. Our lives and actions should not be merely guided by this sense of competition with others. Each individual has his own ambition in life towards which they work, but the fallacy lies in thinking that our life is created, designed, and maintained by us. The life that we are leading is already pre planned or predetermined. We merely experience its pain and pleasures. This is the reality. The following story can explain this in a better manner. Two beggars were living in a particular kingdom. Of them, one was Nastika or atheist, and the other believer of God. The person who believed in God went on crying that if God wishes, he will give. The other beggar was a practical man. He thought that if he praised the king, he would get something. So he shouted, saying, "If Raja minds, Raja can give. And who is God to give him?" So each of the beggars thought that they were great. Everybody thought that these beggars think in different ways. The king was also a Nastika or a non believer of God. He called the beggar who used to praise him and gave him a lot of money, gold, etc. He removed all the inner pulp of the jackfruit, filled it with gold, money, etc., closed it as before, then gave that to the beggar. This beggar, thinking that the king had given him a jackfruit which is useless and no one would eat it at home, wanted to sell it for 4 or 5 rupees. However, since the jackfruit was heavy, he could get rupees 10. The other beggar gathered all the money which the people gave him. He wanted to buy something, so he came to the shop. He saw the jackfruit and bought it. When he came home and opened it, he saw the gold and other valuable things. Then he told his wife that if God wishes, he would give. He has created such a miracle that inside a jackfruit he has placed all this wealth. He became very rich and went on distributing wealth to the poor and the needy. We spend more time envying the success of others rather than concentrating on our own progress. But the fact is that those who have achieved success and amassed wealth are not able to enjoy the various material comforts they acquire. This is because they are more interested in multiplying their wealth, and there is no end to their multiple and diverse needs and desires. In reality, they do not experience satisfaction. In other words, they spend their lives in a lifeless way. It is at this point that they require guidance of a guru. But unfortunately, they are deprived of this guidance. This is because those who claim themselves to be gurus or spiritual leaders merely give certain tantras and mantras and pump the ego of the disciple. They are not genuinely concerned about the evolution of the people. The only permanent existence of this world is Satya or truth. Great thinkers, avatars, or incarnations who have created their own mark in this world are not the truth by themselves. They are the amshas or projections or representations of the truth. The various sounds in this world originate from silence. We should perceive the silence behind the sound. The transition should be from nada or sound to light and ultimately from light to silence. The mantras, shlokas, or Gita we recite every day are nothing but forms of sound. The silence beyond these sounds is different. We should therefore lose sound in the silence. The word Guru is comprised of the words Gu, which means darkness, and Ru, which means light. Thus, a Guru can be described as the light which makes the darkness of ignorance disappear. Guru is not an ordinary person. He is a power and he is the powerhouse which stores the power. The body of the Guru is a throne or simhasan, and the Guru is the one who sits on this throne. He is prajna or consciousness. The body or form of the Guru is just an instrument to enable others to worship him. For example, a person teaching mathematics, a person who teaches yoga are not gurus in real sense. They just teach and pose as a guru. But a guru has an identity of his own which distinguishes him from a master or a teacher. A guru is not a mere projection of power, but he is the real power. As individuals, we are possessed by our own thoughts, our own sense of individuality, desire for power and possession. If this is our perception towards life, then our life on this earth is wasted. We should remember that we cannot even own or possess the air we breathe, leave alone other things. Therefore, only when we detach ourselves from our activities and actions, get rid of our passions and possessions, do we reach a state or a level where we can introspect and contemplate about ourselves from within. This introspection and contemplation will enable us to understand the purpose of our existence and will ultimately help us to achieve our own freedom. We have to attain this here and now, or else we will be wasting our time on earth. Lord Krishna says, Tasmin drishtuncha praveshtuncha parantapa. Parantapa means a great tapasvi or a person of great austerity. Like a parantapa, we have to enter into Krishna consciousness. We should not go on seeing idols and waste time. One has to enter into the spirit of God. Once we do this, we become free.